Hello YouTube! Flashlight Enthusiast here. Today, something interesting and quite new, the Convoy L8. After maybe not very successful L7, Simon came up with the extremely interesting Convoy L8, which is the single SBT90 LED thrower, but on a very unusual battery configuration, because this is the 26800 battery. You may be familiar with this one, or maybe not yet. So this one is similar size to the popular 26650 battery, but slightly longer, and provides around 7000 mAh in this size. So very dense in energy, and I'm really glad that manufacturers start to incorporate this battery into their designs. And the example is exactly Convoy L8. Look at this baby here. I mean, the design is very spectacular, and obviously I got this one from a friend for review, so I don't have any full package, but judging the package that Simon includes their flashlight in, this is just a plain cardboard box and some lanyard, and here there is no instruction as well. So just the flashlight and the battery, and here it is. Okay, thank you very much, my friend, for borrowing this one for review. Thank you very much for that. And look at this one. The knurling on the battery tube is so attractive. I have to really show you this one, guys. Look at this one. The build and finish on this one is really excellent. Judging the price, it goes around $90. So really, this is definitely a budget price flashlight, especially with the SBT90 LED, which is extremely expensive, and the battery itself is also not the cheapest one. So you basically got the battery and LED in the price of the whole flashlight. So that's definitely amazing. The cooling fins are pretty massive, but you know that Simon is not that crazy guy, so they'll steer the LED for the maximum output. So although it is advertised as 6500 lumens, it is more like a 4000 lumen flashlight. So these cooling fins, while they do look pretty spectacular, they do not play as much important role as in more powerful flashlight. But still the flashlight body can achieve like 50 degrees or something, so I'm glad they are here. Okay, the switch is pure rubber, and it can indicate the charging. Both red and green LEDs built in under the switch, and because of the color they can be clearly visible, but without LEDs the switch looks just a little bit cheap, but that's my opinion. Okay, and on the opposite side we've got the USB-C charging port, so it is very important to have, you know, the fast charging method to charge these batteries. And here it is, almost 3 amps charging. So you can charge the whole battery in like 3 hours, so definitely good timing. While I use my regular battery charger from Nightcore, it takes me around 7 to 8 hours, so I really appreciate Simon did the job here with 3 amps USB-C charging. And here is the reflector, alright? A little bit weird because we've got this two-stage reflector, as you can see. We've got the bottom portion, which has different angle than the rest of the reflector, but the beam is somewhat pleasant, so I really don't have to criticize this one. The LED is perfectly centered, and reflector does not show much signs of dust, although there is some, so obviously this is not the ace beam quality without any dust in the reflector, but still manageable with this price in mind. Okay, so basically we can see some chips on the anodization, but bear in mind that this is the used flashlight, so maybe new ones do not have such problems, but either way the quality is acceptable for me, especially for the price. All right, so let me show you the battery inside here. The threads are usual for Convoy, so pretty thick and rectangular, not so well greased, but you can do it in your own way, so that's okay, that's alright. The spring is quite thick to deliver the high current, but not gold plated without any bypass. Again, okay for that price, nothing to worry about. And here is the QB26800 battery, around 7000 mAh tested. Lots of news on the internet, so I'm sure you will find those for yourselves. Comparing this to the regular 26600 battery that I use, the keep power, As you can see, the diameter is identical, but the length is substantially larger, but still the 40% increase in capacity, and the length is definitely like 20 to 25% increase, so definitely more dense in energy. And I really like the look of this battery. Mind you that the battery is not the cheapest one, so if you have a good source, then lucky you. Okay, more and more manufacturers start to incorporate this one. For example, the famous Hank from International.Outdoor.com. It does have the special battery for MSRD for SV2, so maybe I'll show you the difference and the benefits for such a tube in some other time in the video. But for now, let's return to the Convoy. We also got the second portion of the battery tube here, but I believe this one is glued. Here are an anodized threads, so I definitely recommend using the one from the tail cap. And down there we've got no spring, just plain contact. So this flashlight might be prone to some shocks in terms of electrical connectivity. So let's just screw this down. As you can see, we've got also Lumen attachments here, 2 of them, so that the flashlight can stably tail stand without any problems, okay? So going through the UI real quick, I really appreciate that Simon did incorporate both stepped ramping and stepless dimming. So we've got pretty standard user interface from Simon nowadays. 1 click for on, 1 click for off. The click is somehow quite silent, but the click is really pronounced. I like that one. So coming back to the user interface, 1 click for on, 1 click for off. While the flashlight is on, you can hold the switch to either increase through 4 levels if in stepped, or just ramp down and up. Okay, here we are in a stepped ramping, so double tap for turbo mode, triple click for strobe mode, and from off you can also click 4 times to enable momentary turbo only, so the tactical mode, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, as long as you hold the switch, we've got the turbo mode. Once you release, the flashlight turns off. Okay. To unlock the tactical mode, you press again 4 times from off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we've got standard operation. Okay. Then you can have 5 clicks to check the battery level indicator. Okay, so battery charge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 4 blinks, so basically almost fully charged. When we are in a strobe mode, so 1, 2, 3, 1 click will go to the previous state or mode. So if you access it from off, the flashlight will turn on, but if you access this one from a turn on, for example, the low mode, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 click, it goes back to the similar mode, all right? And then you can also switch between step mode and ramping mode by 6 clicking from off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and now as you can see, we've got stepless ramping while we hold the switch, all right? It works perfectly fine. All right, so here are my lumen measurements in case of stepped mode. Alright, so let's just look at the runtime graphs real quick, because this flashlight really deserves a mentioning here, alright? So here is the turbo output graph for the Convoy L8 on the original QB26800 battery. So as you can see, I measured around 4,350 lumens at startup, and then after 1 minute and 50 seconds, this flashlight started to step down from around 4,000 lumens, with gradual step down to around 1309 lumen level, alright? And I really regret that this flashlight does not have flat stabilization like some of the Convoy models, because I know that Simon can do that, but unfortunately this model does not feature flat stabilization, but rather a gradual output decrease. But still the decrease is not dramatic. I would say you won't even notice this one, but something weird happened around 1 hour and 37 minutes when the flashlight did step up the output for some reason, and that's really weird, okay? But notice that the body did not achieve more than 45 degrees, so still reasonably warm but never hot. Alright, that's good. That's good for a general user. Okay, and now we've got the high mode here. The decrease the output over time is much more visible. We've got 2 hours and 20 minutes of total runtime. The body did not achieve more than 45 degrees, so similar. And the entry level of the output is around 1118 lumens. And then the output drop is pretty significant, because after 1 hour you've got around 800 lumens, and after 2 hours you've got only 650 lumens. All right, so bearing this in mind, this is definitely not a super constant current driver, but for general user it might be even good, and for such price like 19 bucks, well, I don't think I can criticize as much. Okay, so guys, I will be comparing this one in the outdoor beam shots to the AceBeam K65GT, because it's similar size, both head and overall the length of the flashlights. So let's just go to the forest and show you the beam shots. Convoy L8 first, so that you get the sense what we can get in a much cheaper flashlight. By the way, the tint on this one was like pure white, excellent tint on this one, really. And as you can see, no problem whatsoever with reaching a tree line over 200 meters down there. Perfectly natural hotspot and quite bright spill from this quite large reflector, single SBT90 LED. So basically what Convoy did here is extreme performance for a really affordable amount of money, around $100. But guys, definitely amazing performance. Look at the hotspot, how clean it is, and now in the sky. Wow. So now the K65GT for comparison. Notice how much focused beam it is in comparison to L8. Basically, unfortunately, in my sample, the tint is slightly greenish, so much worse than Convoy. But oh boy, this one is definitely much more focused, over 500 meters more throw. Alright, let's sum it up, guys. Definitely an interesting proposition from Simon. I really appreciate that he did incorporate the new format of battery in this compact design. The performance is quite good, although I do regret there is lack of stabilization here, although he could incorporate this one. The charging is super fast and very convenient, especially for that type of battery that some chargers, or even most of them, do not accept because of the length. So definitely smart move here. Entry level thrower, in my opinion, this is definitely a Convoy L8. In terms, you need around 4000 lumens, 1.5 kilometers of throw. This is definitely an interesting position in Convoy's portfolio, and not only Convoy's, because for such a price, you know, the competition is speechless. So definitely recommending this one to you if you're looking for a cheaper SBT90 LED thrower with decent build quality and pretty affordable price. So guys, definitely recommending this one to you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for more videos and to support the algorithm. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.